What up, YouTube world? Your boy Lucha, aka Matthew J. Brownlee, and I'm back with another Raw review. Raw talk. It's been a while. I ain't gonna lie, I've been tired and lazy, and it's just what it is. And so we're gonna jump right into Raw. A lot of things is going on in the world of wrestling, especially in WWE. Things are going on everywhere. We're talking about Summerslam that was just this past week. Quick rundown of the show. Super quick rundown of the show. Things that we thought it was going to happen, mostly for my part, happened. Liv Morgan defeats Rhea Ripley because of Dominic Mysterio. Dominic Mysterio didn't happen to turn, was already a heel and then turned more heel. If you can believe that happened. That was the thing that happened. Dominic Mysterio made sure that Liv Morgan was still Women's World Champion. They gave a big old smoochy smooch kiss at the end. It was hilarious. It was great. I feel bad for Rhea, but she's gonna get your boy. Gonna get your boy Jey Uso, so it's all gonna be good enough. But what else happened? I think the next match was uh Sami Zayn defended his title against Braun Breaker. Braun Breaker is new Intercontinental Champion. I think they did like a lot of stuff outside, and then they went back inside, and then like in 6-7 minutes, Braun Breaker beats uh, Sami Zayn because when the bell rings, uh, Braun goes to spear Sami Zayn immediately, but immediately Sami Zayn jumps over Braun Breaker. He goes shoulder first to the post, and he goes outside, and then they fight a little bit, and they go back in the ring. The bell rings, and then 6 minutes later, Braun Breaker wins. Next up after that, another title change hands we also saw coming. Logan Paul defends his United States Championship against L.A. Knight. Yeah. LA Knight gets that win. Really fun match. Again, thought it was going to happen. If you thought it was going to happen. He wins. Next up, something that I didn't expect. Maybe this was just me, but Bayley gets dethroned by Nia Jax. I was like, dang, didn't expect that to happen. Because in my mind, I was like, oh well, because I didn't even think that Tiffany was going to cash in because she just got the briefcase the past Friday on SmackDown by Nia Jax. But my mind, I was like, oh well, they might do something. Bayley would just inch out a win, you know, and it'll be like it'd just be the end of that. She'll find a new challenger. But no, Tiffany, she comes out pretending that she's going to cash in, gets distracted by Nia Jax. All it takes is a little slither of a distraction from Nia Jax, and then she hits her with a power bomb. I think she hits her with she hits her with an annihilator, and then Bayley kicks out. And then I think she hits her with a power bomb, two more annihilators, and then 1, 2, 3, and new WWE Women's Champion Nia Jax, which is good because I think I love Bayley. I love Bayley so much. I got a Bayley shirt somewhere. I'm a hugger Bayley shirt. I got one of those around here somewhere. So I really love Bayley, but sometimes you can't really. It's hard to find things for baby faces. And now that we see on SmackDown, it looks like it's going to be the big three versus Unholy Union that included Blair Davenport from the night before. So Naomi's probably going to be involved in that. It'd be interesting to see what Bayley goes. I don't know. I don't know because I also kind of see Nia and Tiffany Stratton be like tag team champions a little bit too. So it'll be interesting to see what Bayley does next. I don't know anybody else in the division. Oh, she said that she had, Mi Chin has her back. Maybe she doesn't. Maybe she turns heel, and maybe there's a Nia or Bayley Mi Chin feud, which I don't think is going to happen. Maybe somebody comes up from I don't know. I don't. But it'll be interesting to see. Congratulations to Nia Jax. I love her so much. She is new Women's World Champion. And then after that, Next match, CM Punk versus Drew McIntyre. Drew McIntyre beats CM Punk. Not the biggest surprise. I kind of thought that um, Punk was gonna win. I thought he was gonna do one of those things that happened in that one match where HBK was the ref, and it was Bret Hart versus the Undertaker. That Shawn Michaels hated Bret Hart so much, and he did this thing where he wanted to screw Bret for him losing the world title. Instead, he gets a chair, he swings it at Bret Hart, but Bret Hart ducks, and it hits the Undertaker in the face instead, and then he has to count the three for for Bret Hart, and he's mad now. He's the champion. I thought it was gonna be like something like that. Maybe what happened. He had the bracelet, and then he pushes him or tries to, or like he does, he hits him with the GTS, uh, and then he kicks him nuts, try to claymore him or something like that, or he tries to do something, tries to pin him, but ref is still down obviously for a little bit, and then he tries to shake him off or whatever, and then maybe CM Punk kind of low blows Drew McIntyre, and he kind of pushes uh, Seth Rollins like, "What are you doing?" Da da da. Maybe he spits in his face or whatever, and then that makes Seth mad, and he tries to super kick CM Punk. He moves out the way, bong, super kicks Drew McIntyre, go to sleep. CM Punk wins, but that's not what happened. CM Punk's own doing cost him the match. He was so fixated on the bracelet that Drew McIntyre had, and then he took it back from him. And then Seth Rollins had it, but he just put it on his arm, just because. And then CM Punk went crazy that he had it instead of finishing him off. And then he GTS's him, and then he takes it back, and then boom, he gets kicked in the nuts. Claymore, he wins, and he took the bracelet back. So that was hilarious. So that happened. That match happened. Next up, another match that we knew was going to happen, but we didn't want to happen. Damian Priest is going crazy about what Dom just did, and he's like, "I'm going to kill him." And he goes to the priest. He's like, "Oh, it was all you. I know you was behind." He was like, "Hey, I didn't talk about me. I wasn't doing it." It was like, "Well, he's probably probably long gone." Oh, well, shit. And he was like, "Well, we'll look for him. You worry about your match, and of course, I got your back." And then he comes back later on. It's just Finn, JD, Carlito, nowhere to be seen. That right there should have been an indicator to tell you that, oh shit, something's about to happen. But something happened. They had a great match. Oh, Damian Priest was chopping Gunther's chest. Gunther's chest was bleeding. Man, this was good stuff. Damian Priest was probably the best pre-match Priest, like the title defense, without really any distractions. Because his whole thing was like, I want to be world champion. I don't need anybody to help me be world champion. And this whole time, every time he tries to prove that he could be a world champion, there's always interference that help him get the win. This time, he was going to. It seems like he was going to beat Gunther until Finn Balor, who got in the match, cost Damian Priest his match. And then Damian Priest has no idea what's going on. Damian Priest is like, what just happened? And he looks at the smart babyface thing to do. He looks at the monitor. He sees that Finn Balor had put his foot up, and he kind of just like, he looks back at Finn Balor, and he's trying to whoop his ass. And then Gunther comes, chokes him out, but Damian Priest fights out of it. He gets like the pin for two. He kind of clotheslines Gunther, but he goes straight back after Finn Balor. But he gets distracted. He gets just like CM Punk. He gets his eye off the ball. Uh, Power bomb puts him back in the chokehold. No tap out. He passes out, and new world heavyweight champion Gunther, the Ring Yanara. So that was good stuff. So Finn Balor cost Damian Priest his title. Dom cost Rhea hers, and there's lip blocking with Morgan. It's so great. And then there was another thing where Jelly Roll came out. He was with Miz and Jar Truth, and then uh, A Town Down Under came and cost them, and then they was trying to. Truth thought that was the Rock and Roll Express, and then he was like, "Well, you're not Ricky Morton, and you're not Gibson. Who's that?" And he was like, and they looked, and it was Jelly Roll. He had a chair. He was like, "Oh, what you gonna do?" And then they beat him up. He took the chair. Dope choke slam on Austin Theory. That was great. So that was the thing that happened. Final, your main event. It was a Bloodline rules match, but it was like a 15 minutes actual match, and then Cody got the upper hand, and then the Bloodline came in, and then Kevin Owens and Randy Orton came out because Arn was there. Arn had the Glock on him, and he was like, "Hey, yo, we got some help. Got the Glock back full effect on you, so everything is fine. Glock 9." And Cody was like, "Oh shit, how'd you get here?" But yeah, that happened, and then Jacob Fatu comes out, whooping on Cody. They're doing a whole bunch of moves to get Cody to kick out, to not kick out, but he kicks out, and then he brings him to the announce table. He splashes him on the announce table, and then he does. Oh, Jacob Fatu's so good. He does this sell job that his leg is hurt. Like he can't get it. He can't do anything. His leg, he messed up. He was like, oh, he finished a move because he tries to stand up, but he can't. He has a walking boo, and everybody's like, everybody's like, no, what happened? And they're like, so he brings him in. He's like, you finish him, yeah. And Solo's like, oh yeah, I'm about to finish him, easy money. And then Tribal Chief, the OTC, the original Tribal Chief, just like it's the original, the OC, the original club, it's the original Tribal Chief because they like being original because we're the first original. Comes out. Roman Reigns has returned. Everybody goes crazy. He goes in the ring. Man punch on Solo Sikoa, spear Solo Sikoa. One, and then they look at each other. He's like, and then Cody was like, "Oh, you can't get this belt." Boom. Crossroads on Solo Sikoa. 1, 2, 3, and still champion. Solo Sikoa was like, no, on her ringside with Jacob Fatu. So apparently Jacob Fatu is actually fine, but they did the thing where they didn't want Solo and Roman to kind of come face to face because it'd be like, gotta let Jacob Fatu stay strong. So it was like, well, how about we do the thing where he splashes off him, but he gets injured, but he's not really injured. He's just really good at selling. And Jacob Fatu's already one half of the tag team champion. That man's about to be world, at least United States champion by next United States or Intercontinental champion by next year, and then he's gonna be world champion, and he's gonna take over the Bloodline. I promise. That's what's gonna happen. WrestleMania is gonna be Roman Reigns versus Solo Sikoa. Roman Reigns is gonna be Solo Sikoa. Uh, Jacob Fatu is gonna be whoever, and they're gonna do maybe Cody Rhodes versus The Rock, and Cody Rhodes is probably gonna win, and then Jacob Fatu is gonna be the GOAT. So that was 13 minutes of everybody's lives talking about my jam, Summerslam, which was good. But now we got to talk about the night after Raw. Night after Raw opens up with your new World Heavyweight Champion, the Ring General. Boom! So Gunther comes out, is like, hey, I give it to Damian Priest. He was a worthy challenger, but it was an inevitable. If you think that I don't deserve this title, come square up. He said, square up. I ain't running. He's like, there's no surprises. I know everything. There's nothing that could surprise me. I am ready and prepared for everyone and everything. And then I hear voices in my. Randy Orton comes out. Oh, the whole crowd goes crazy. And then Gunther's like, He comes in the ring. He goes, "You know what? I said that I am ready and prepared for everything. I was mistaken. I was not ready and prepared for it." It was kind of funny. And he was just like, "Oh, I'm ready and prepared for everything. I'm Gunther, the world champion. Everything, nothing surprises me." Randy Orton comes out. He's like, "You know what? I lied. You got me." So of course, Randy Orton comes out, and then he's like, "Hey, you world champion. I ain't mad at it." He's like, "But we all know what happened. You didn't pin me. We all saw it. My shoulders was up. I know it. You know it. The crowd knows. Hey, Triple H knows that he saw that. Referee's discretion. He didn't see it. Hey, I lost. It's no big deal. I don't. I've been here long enough. It is what it is. But I'm just saying, you know, I kind of deserve to be world champion. You want to really, you say you're the best in the world, but if you really want to be the best in the world, you got to prove to me, the one that you technically didn't beat, that you're gonna be the best in the world. And I kind of want to get that 15 chip. So how about me and you, Berlin? Let's do it. Gunther was like, you know what, Randy? The one thing in my life right now that I not happy about is that blemish, because people think that I'm be a weak champion because of that one blemish on my record, and we can't have that. So I accept. I was like Solo Sokoa shadow boxing, bro. I was in it. I can't do uppercuts. I can do like this uppercuts. I gotta work on my uppercuts. So that match is gonna happen. So we like those. Uh, And then Orton said something comparing his match to Steamboat versus Ric Flair. He was like, I could be either one, but can you? Which means that they're gonna go for an hour long Steamboat. Don't go an hour long. Go like 20 minutes. But that match would be great. Uh, Sheamus does interview backstage, and my girl was pretty much like, "Man, everybody's after you. What's going on? You hit it from Ludwig Kaiser, got hit from Bronson Reed, you got hit from Pete Dunne. Like, what is going on?" He was like, what, all these young fellas, they want to come after me. They want to get a little bit of that rub. He was like, you know what I say? Bring them all on. I want them all. Like, you. I done handled Bronson Reed last week. Oh no. Bronson Reed beat Sheamus last week. He was like, well, I'm ready for a fight. If he wants some more, he gets some more. I'm about to end Ludwig Kaiser. So they have a match. The match was great. Ludwig Kaiser, fire. He's so good. Their chemistry is so great. Um, he was working on, I think, Sheamus's shoulder. His shoulder was going a little messed up, so he was working on the shoulder. They go back and forth. Of course, Pete Dunne tries to interfere. Doesn't work. Sheamus hits a knee, and then he did like a brogue knee, two different knees for the win. I think he hit a knee and then a brogue kick, but I can't be mistaken. I don't know which one it was, but he definitely hit a knee first, and then there was like a brogue kick, maybe a brogue knee for the win. Good stuff. I was happy, and then I assume maybe him and Pete Dunne at Berlin, which again, yes, please give me some of that in my life. I need me some Pete Dunne versus Sheamus. I like those. And Sheamus was pretty much, I don't know what's going on with Pete Dunne. It is what it is. I'm gonna handle him, so they're gonna handle that. Pete Dunne has a match tonight, Tuesday tonight, against Trick Williams. It'd be interesting if Sheamus shows up to cost Pete Dunne. Like Pete Dunne's been trying to cost Sheamus. Well, he cost Sheamus last week. So it'll be interesting if Sheamus shows up on NXT tonight. If not, hey, I'm not gonna lie, bro. If he don't show up to cost Pete Dunne, I don't see Pete Dunne losing to Trick Williams. And I love Trick Williams, but I don't see him losing the Trick. Just like cleanly, I don't see it happening. Sheamus would have to. I would think Sheamus would show up, or Pete wins. Um, Give that match at Berlin. So after that, um, Damian Priest comes out. Big pop for Damian Priest, which we like those. And he was like, you know what? the stuff that happened with the betrayal, he was like, you know what, I knew it. I had a feeling he was jealous of me. Am I mad that he cost me the world title? No, I can get it back. I ain't worried about it. But right now, my focus is on Finn Balor. Talk about, hey, you know where my past is. You know how I grew up. This don't slide. So come out here, get this ass whooping like a man. People crowd was eating it up, and then Finn Balor shows up on the screen, and he's like, he said, you don't deserve me. You don't deserve any of this. He was like, I know somebody who does want to get his hands on you. That's JD McDonough. And this is a Judgment Day. I like this version of Judgment Day because it's not like, because like before they were like happy and funny and stuff like that. And that version of Judgment Day was like, oh, JD, you're going to handle this. It's like, I'm gonna what? But no, JD did a promo. He was like, nah, we're gonna we're gonna show up. So they're gonna have JD show up and show out. This is the JD I like. This is this was like UK JD, not the NXT JD when he was talking about the bones and breaking bones and stuff like that. The UK JD and the OTT JD. This is the JD that I'm talking about right here. But he talks about him being selfish. It was like the Judgment Day. Like he doesn't even talk about like why the Judgment Day jumped him and beat him up. He was like, nah, the Judgment Day was supposed to be no leaders. It's supposed to be all for one for all, one big family. And as soon as you won that world championship, that you wanted to insert yourself as the leader. You wanted to be number one when it was supposed to be about all of us. Which is, facts, big facts. That's what that was what's happening. They were good. It was winning and he was like, "Oh, and you think I ain't forgiving you? Was Mr. Money in Bank? You screwed me out of the world title. Big facts. You screwed him out the world title multiple times, at least twice, and then you're supposed to be tag team champions. You worried about being world champion. Now you're world champion and tag team champions, but you're not worried about being tag team champions. You only care about being the leader of Judgment Day, even though there were supposed to be no leaders. I'm just saying. I I get it. I'm on. Hey, I love me some Damian Priest, but I'm on team. Hope he didn't hear me. But I'm just saying, he right. He not mad. And then he said, uh, "But I'm going to get you when you least expect it. When you stop thinking about me, when the moment it is when you don't think about me no more, that's when I'm going to attack you. And it's going to be with me, with my family. And you pan out. There's JD, him, Dominic Mysterio, Liv Morgan, sucking faces again, and Carlito. And everybody was like, "Oh, I wonder what's going to happen with Carlito." I assumed that Carlito was going to be with the Judgment Day thing because Priest and throughout the weeks, Priest already didn't want him in there. And then when Rhea came back, he was like, "Why is he still here?" So they didn't really want him in there. It was mostly Dom that I think Dom brought him in from the thing with because he hated the LWO and that was that whole thing with the LWO. So I know. So and then Dom brought him and was, "Hey, he's cool. He's cool." So that I kind of saw coming and it made sense that he was with them. But that was all. That was all great stuff. Um, It's kind of also funny how the original three people that was actually in Judgment Day are no longer in Judgment Day, and they're going to keep calling it the Judgment Day. I would still call it something else, but you're already branded into the Judgment Day, and apparently the Terror Twins are going to run shop anyway. They're probably going to get new merch, so that's good stuff. That was good stuff. We like those. Um, Next up is Lyra Valkyria versus Shayna Baszler. This is what we like. Shayna Baszler front and center as she should be, facing off with Lyra Valkyria. Match was good, and then Lyra was gonna win, and it got interrupted by Shayna and Zoe, and they took her out. And that's and then Damage Control comes out. They take her out. They do all that stuff, and then the match was supposed to be Dakota Kai versus Sonya Deville. Um, and we'll see what happens with that later. Um, I don't know. Lyra Valkyria. I mean, I'm glad that she's being on TV, but she's not. She needs to be up here. She needs to be. She's down. This is where she is. You can't see my hands, but this is where she is. This is where like you don't see my hand again, but it's in the higher spot from where I had it before. This is where she should be, but this is where she's at. Why? In my opinion, I say side her up with Rhea Ripley because they had a thing in NXT where Rhea kind of had a little bit of respect for Lyra Valkyria, and Lyra kind of respected her too, but she's like, you're with Dom, and it's not a good idea. Now she's not with Dom, so now you do Rhea and Lyra Valkyria together when they figure out that what's her face, my girl Liv is gonna have Raquel, big Raquel, gonna have her. So I'm just saying, and you put Lyra with her, and then now we're talking. You get her out of that feud with scissors for scissor triplets. The triplets, the scissoring committee. Here we go. Stud, shield stud. So yeah. Next up is so backstage. Uh, Pierce is talking to somebody. I'm assuming it's probably Nick Aldis. They're talking about their exchange and the stuff that they're doing. He was like, just give me a second. So Bronson Reed comes up and he's like, why is Sheamus getting opportunities of wrestling? And I literally just beat him last week. Why am I not wrestling? It's like, hey, you did good. We just, he has, and he got ops. It was like, well, I guess I gotta be ops and create my own joint because nobody's out here giving me what I need to be getting. That's tough. So after that, CM Punk comes out. Whew, crazy reaction off his loss, and Punk said, I should be mad. I should not be happy because I lost. I lost to Drew. I got screwed, whatever. But I'm not. I'm happy. You know why I'm happy? And he's pretty much happy because he's not injured. He had a match with Drew. He didn't get hurt. It was like, I'm ready. I need some more. I need more fighting. Is what I need in my life. So he was like, Drew McIntyre, get out of here. You still got my bracelet. I need some more fighting. So instead of Drew McIntyre, Seth Rollins comes out. Seth Rollins comes out. He was like, forget Drew McIntyre. Me and you. I told you to get out of my business. You're still in my business. You gave me a GTS the other night. I want your head. Pause. No diddy. So he comes out. So he's like, oh, what's up? What it is? Let's go. Drew McIntyre comes from the top. He was like, hey, again, Seth Rollins, it's not all about you. Get out of our business. You're just trying to third wheel everything. Pay attention to me. I'm the winner. I'm the man. Because I beat you because he counted three and nobody's paying attention. Oh, so nobody's now paying attention to me? Well, now I'm going to make everybody pay attention to me. Like Punk, he breaks out the bracelet. He was like, bracelet. Yeah, you're all alone because I got your wife and your stupid. He called the dog stupid and ugly. Well, he said AJ Lee was lovely. He said your lovely wife AJ. So at least he called the dog dumb. They're stupid and ugly. What's up with everybody and calling these dogs dumb? That's crazy. That's not nice. So then CM Punk goes after Drew McIntyre. He goes up there and then tells like, what's going on? Out of nowhere, boom, Bronson. Oh my God, Bronson Reed whooped CM Punk's ass. Whooped his ass. You just gotta watch. He beat that man so bad. He beat him up. I mean, I think Seth Rollins got one super kick out. And then he was like, that was all you're going to get. Boom. He did this World Strongest Slam, Samoan drop, Tsunami. Boom. Hit him with one. Hit him with another one. Tsunami again. Boom. People trying to do it. Trying to be like, no, stop it. It's over. No. Tsunami again. Boom. And they was like, oh, no more. You bring him out. Stop it. No more tsunami. Seth Rollins, oh my God, oh my ribs, my ribs. Bronson Reed said, you know what? Fuck that. Goes back, tsunami again. Boom. Do it again, tsunami again. Boom. Oh, you thought I was done? Nah, nah. 6 times. That was like, I was like, no. Seth is bleeding on the inside. Oh my God, he's coughing up blood. You know what? You know what? It made him happy. You know what happened though? Tsunami again. Boom, got him again. And then he was about to leave, and then he tried to do it again. And they were the refs and officials was rolling Seth on the other side. I was like, bro, you gotta leave him alone. Now he's just sitting on it. Oh, that was great, and I'm so happy for Brunson Reed because it's fantastic. So, but he has to win. He has to win. You can't just have him lose to Seth. They're gonna do a match. I don't know if they're gonna do it in Berlin. I don't know if they're gonna do it Hell in a Cell because Berlin is coming up in the end of the month. So you're gonna have. So you have. Well, we'll talk about all that later. But this was fire. Oh, he didn't do 7. He did 6, but it was hilarious. He was about to do 7, but it was all great. It was all good stuff. So CM Punk said that they told him in 9 months he was going to be healed. He said he did it in 5. He recovered. He's John Cena. Um, he said, where would CM Punk be if he stayed down last time he lost the championship? He said 10 long years he finally he said, oh, Punk or Rollins said to Punk after 10 long years he could finally put Punk in the dirt, but he has to get through Bronson Reed first. Um, yeah, that was good stuff. Next up is Woods and Kofi, the New Day, facing off against AOP. Um, New Day came out in new ninjas, the turtles, Ninja Turtles. That was fun stuff. Um, yeah, I mean this match was fun. It was good stuff. Um, Woods got the hot tag. He was going in, going crazy. And then Scarlett was going to interfere, and then Odyssey Jones shows up, which was very surprising because he hasn't showed up in like 3 years. He gone through a second cycle of raw things, and he hasn't showed up. Raw graphics, drafters raw. You got drafted last year, you got drafted this year. Like where's he been? So yeah, he came out, helped the New Day get a roll up victory on one of the AOP members, and then they attack him, and then Odyssey Jones. Oh my God, he's so good. He picked up Akam and Ray's arm by both arms, lifted them, held them like this. He did. He was like this. He did that to Akam and Ray's arm. He didn't even do that to Akam or Ray's arm. Or probably Kofi Kingston. Well, I could probably do it Kofi Kingston. But dang! How strong you gotta be, boy? Why you got all those muscles? That was crazy. So that was crazy stuff. So Kofi Kingston is beyond crazy happy. Xavier Woods is like, I don't know about this. So they're backstage, and Kofi and Woods is like, or yeah, Kofi and Woods talk. He was like, so you knew about that? What's going on? He's like, yeah, me and Big O go way me and the Big O go way back. I was rehabbing my leg. He was there. We kind of cool. And then Odyssey Jones, just so hype and stuff like that. He's been on TV for the first, been on TV forever, and he's like, yeah, no, my boy called me, said you need some help with the AOP losers, the Final Testament losers. He's like, I got your back, I got you. And was because obviously it's not Biggie, so I know he might feel some type of way, stuff like that. So you know I don't think I don't think it's going to be a thing. I don't think Odyssey Jones is going to be in the New Day, but I think he might just help out a little bit until they trying to figure out maybe where they want to do with Big E. And Big E's there, Big E comes with like, hey, he just pops up, not have to really do anything. Maybe he does a big ending or something. And that's it or something like that. But maybe they do a thing. They go backstage like, look, Woods, I see what's going on. My days is over, bro. My days of wrestling and doing all this stuff is over. Don't feel bad. You guys are the greatest. New Day is the greatest tag team of all time. Odyssey Jones is a good kid. He's a bright young kid. You know, he could learn a lot. It could be a thing where he could be a team or like he could be around them because they're black. Like, hey, you can work around it. If you need help or something like that. And maybe Odyssey Jones can finally be on the road, do stuff on his own. This is more that big meaty men slap meat stuff. You got him. You got Bronson Reed when Ivar comes back. Woo! And then you got Gunther, the big meaty man slap meat. Yeah, like those. And then you got Braun Strowman, big meaty man shit. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. So throw him in the big meaty man slapping meat compartment, and we good with that. So that's all good stuff. And then again, we was talking about the whole thing with Jelly Roll and the Chokeslam and Austin Theory. They had a match with Awesome Truth. The Miz was felt like he was about to get the win, but Truth tags himself in. Miz was like, "Bro, what are we doing right now?" I was like, "No, I got it. Everything is fine." He didn't have it. Everything wasn't fine. Miz got taken out. I think the 8 count down. Austin Theory hit 8 count down. They win. And then Miz is like, "Bro, my God, what are you doing? Like, what is going on right now?" He was like, "That's my bad. That's on me." So the Miz is going to turn on Truth. So Truth is going to go back with Damian Priest and it's gonna be great. It's gonna be so fun. It's gonna be so great. Um, yeah, the Truth is going to definitely get turned on by the Miz, and yeah, yeah, whatever. They've been, yeah. I don't know. I don't. I don't know what's gonna happen. I don't really know what they're gonna do with Miz or Truth after they break up. I hope they don't be in a feud forever. But I'm not gonna. I don't know what they're gonna do with the Miz because Miz is not gonna be world champion again. He's not gonna be IC champion anytime soon. He's not gonna be WWE champion. He's not gonna be United States champion unless it goes down to NXT or unless he does something in NXT or he does a crossover in TNA. I don't know what they're gonna do with him. They're probably gonna have Truth do some comedy, fun stuff against Judgment Day because he never really liked JD, so that might be a thing. I know Jay Uso's probably gonna get involved a little bit with Sami Zayn. They're probably gonna be tag team champions for a little bit, and I guess we'll talk about that right now. Uh, well, so Braun, I think he was doing a backstage segment, and he was like, "Hey, I give Sammy," and he's one of the things that he's been consistent. He's only Sami Zayn is one of the few people that he's give respect to because he's the one that gave him the match and the challenge. He didn't back away from him or anything like that. But you see, he was like, well, you see this name, Braun Breaker. It took me a lot to put this on here. I've been wanting since I was a kid. You're gonna take a lot to get this off of me. So that means it's not happening anytime soon. So out comes so backstage, Sammy's with Ilya Dragunov. He was like, "Hey, you're a good champion. You get it back. Don't worry about it. Stuff happens. You'll get it back." He was like, "Ah, thanks." Ilya leaves, and then he's sitting there, and then, yeet, yeah, boy. Jay Uso comes. He's like, "Hey, don't worry about it. Why are you down with the down?" He's like, I feel, empty without my." He's like, don't worry about that. You're not gonna talk about that. Like, you the man. You Sammy. You about to, pick yourself back up. Go get that title back. Everything's gonna be good. He's like, yeah, but you're like, no, none of that. You're like, you're gonna be good. Hey, then after that, we still got some unfinished business with the Judgment Day, and you're gonna be double champion. He's like, oh. He's like, I was just kidding with you. I just talked to Pierce last. I just talked to Pierce. We're about to get that rematch next week. Let's go. He was like, oh yeah, let's go. Yeet, yeet. So they're not only gonna have a match next week. Their match is gonna be great because it's gonna be 2 out of 3 falls. And it'll be interesting to see how this plays out. Mostly because it's gonna be like, okay, it'll be interesting to see if the Judgment Day, because from what just they just talked about with Jay and Sammy going after the tag titles, being tag champions, is it gonna be a thing where it's like they're 1-1. Sammy gets the first fall. First fall, Braun gets the second, or maybe Braun does get the first fall, and then Sammy gets the second fall, and then you would think that maybe Sammy's about to get the third fall. Somebody, maybe Carlito, comes out from Judgment Day. They kind of slip costs, and then they'll bring out Jay. Jay will come out, try to help him, but that will be a distraction. Costs my boy, cost Sami Zayn. He wins second fall, and then they do a thing where it's like, that's tough. You know what I mean? So they'll be like, that sucks. And then they go after the Judgment Day. So maybe they do at Clash, I think they're going to do this match too. We'll talk about that, but I think maybe they'll do Braun versus Ilya, because that was a thing that they kind of just sort of teased, and they've been teasing those three for a minute. So they probably do Braun versus Ilya. They do Sammy and Jay versus Finn and JD, and then maybe they'll do Dom and Liv versus Priest and Rhea, and that's when maybe Rhea, I want to say, what's her face, uh, Raquel shows up. Maybe they don't even win the tag titles. Maybe they win the tag titles, or maybe they do that, and maybe they do a thing where at the next Hell in a Cell, no, because they're gonna want to do, because I was like, they're gonna want to do Rhea versus uh, uh, Rhea versus Liv for the world title, probably inside Hell in a Cell, and then Liv will probably also win that because she won't have to pin Rhea for the title. But in my mind, I was like, well, what if you do? So then maybe they might do win those titles. Because in my mind, I was like, well, man, what if they do? Because they're gonna want to do Finn versus. Well, we'll talk about this. We'll talk about this in a second. So next up was Damian Priest, Big Pop, versus JD McDonough. JD McDonough he did that video package that I said before, and then Damian Priest responded with his own video package, like, I never liked you, I never wanted you in the Judgment Day. Or everybody was here is because of Finn, and you were, so I'm going to enjoy taking pleasure to whooping your ass. And that's pretty much what he did. But this was more back and forth. This was more NXT UK JD and OTT JD than it was like even NXT JD. Um, this was really, really fun, really, really good. Carlito came out with McDonough, and yeah, it was good stuff. It was really brutal. It was really physical. Uh, he did work on Priest's legs and stuff like that. And then again, Priest was gonna win the Judgment Day. Finn Balor, because he takes out JD and he takes out Carlito. He's about to hit him with the finisher. Then Finn Balor comes. They all jump him, and then I think Dom and Rhea and Liv was there, and then they help. But then they kind of try to gather, they try to do the hand thing on Priest. JD goes after him, and then he ducks under, takes him out. He takes some other people out, uh, and then takes out Finn. And then Mysterio comes, boom, because Liv was there and he's kind of distracting her. And then boom, Dom Mysterio gets the leg, takes him out, and then this is my brutality. Big pop. Just the big pop is probably just as big as CM Punk's spot. That pop is crazy. Comes out, they all try to run away. Rhea gets Liv, catches her. Was about to do a power bomb on the announce table, but Dom saves Rhea, of course. And then they go inside, and then JD turns around. Liv, Rhea's there. He was like, "Oh, what you gonna do?" Bang, headbutt. He was like, "Got him!" And then the damnedest south of heaven I've ever seen. That crowd was going crazy. So that's why I was saying they're gonna do Terror Twins. They're gonna do Terror Twins merch, so they're gonna probably do that. In my mind, I was like, well, maybe. What if? It's a what if. Damian Priest and Rhea Ripley got those tag titles off of Finn and JD. That would be interesting. In my mind, it's not just. I mean, you could do Sammy and Jay win the tag titles, but what if Mommy and Priest get it? That would be some television right there. But I think either way, either one of them, both of them are going to beat them. I don't know. They'll probably get them back. See, because in my mind, it's like, well, what would happen if? Because I think Rhea Ripley is like one of those people who's like, oh, because everybody was like, oh, she could be one of the ones that, well, not now, or maybe even now, she could be the ones to be like, oh, she could win the Intercontinental title, and you could believe it. Well, since she's in like the story realm with the tag team division, not that strong. Even though it's Rhea Ripley, I think Rhea Ripley could be in the tag team division and could be tag team champions with Damian Priest, because Damian Priest was just world champion. Rhea Ripley was just women's world champion, dominant women's world champion, who technically didn't really lose a title until just because of Dom. But it's like she could beat a lot of those. Her and Priest can beat a lot of those teams. Even if they don't hold it for a little bit, they could beat Priest and JD. You know, they love Priest and Rhea. They would more than happy drop the titles to them. They wouldn't care. And then, New Day would probably be a fun tag team match. That would probably beat them too. Uh, I wish Pretty Deadly was over there. Pretty Deadly was sure them would be hilarious. But I don't think the tag team division is that strong. I just said the New Day and them. I mean, AOP, but I don't think AOP would try to go after the tag team title. But it'll be impressive to see Rhea Ripley try to pick one of those niggas up for a riptide. But I don't think they would do that. I think they would do like maybe a roll up, or maybe Priest would do a lot of the heavy work. Um, that's really it. That tag division needs help and it needs some love. And them being tag team champions. Oh, they could beat. They could beat. They probably wouldn't. They probably wouldn't have them beat the Creeds. Oh, they could beat. They could beat them some Alpha Academy. They could beat Alpha Academy. They could beat. There was another tag team that was just in my head that they could beat. So, Miz and Truth. Oh, they could beat Miz and Truth easy. And they could beat another team that was in my head but wasn't. Damn. The only reason why I said Alpha and the Wyatt, they can't beat the Wyatts. That wouldn't be great. I said that because that was the next match. Oh, there was another team that I know that's on Raw. Maybe I'll think of it later. But that would be fun, and it would be fun to see them if they did a thing with Jay and Sammy. That would kind of be fun too. Um, but yeah, that was fun. All good stuff. Um, yeah, it's gonna be fun stuff. Next up, which was I mean, I wouldn't call it fun. Io Sky, she faced Sonya Deville. It was supposed to be Dakota Kai, but when they were coming out, the trio, the Scissory sorority, takes them all out, injures Dakota Kai so she can't wrestle, and Sonya Deville gets on the like, I see I'm the greatest. You can't. Who am I wrestling? Nobody. And then Io Music comes out. Io Music, she does it. I think people are wondering like, why is Damage Control baby faces? I think it's just because they're respected and loved. I don't think it's not nothing with them being baby faces. I think it was more like, hey, they got respect because they said they want to be, the top, the best, and they cleanly realized that they was going to do it. And then the heel team, uh, the 369 Mafia. Oh, I got one. I made that one up on myself. 369 Mafia was a good one. Um, with them, they're the ones that attacked Damage Control, took them out the first place. So it's only right that Damage Control comes back and they get their flesh. They get their flesh. And the crowd loves that, because they're not punks. This match is fine. Again, I would have did Io Sky versus Shayna Baszler because that match would have been way better than this. And then I would have did Sonya Deville versus Lyra Valkyria. And I would have did the same thing that you was gonna do. They interrupted, they beat her up, they got the DQ thing for her, and then I would have did Shayna versus Io because that match would have been great. And then I would have had it would have been a better match and Sky would have won. Um, yeah. So that was fun stuff. They did a cool thing at the top where Io did an over the moonsault on Shayna and Sonya, while Kyrie did a dope looking insane elbow on Zoe Starks. She brings in Sonya, does another over the moonsault for the win. That was that. Next up for the main event, they announced two matches. They announced number one contenders match for the women's tag team championships. It is going to be Sky Pirates, Io, and Kyrie versus the 369 Mafia of Shayna and Zoe. So they're whoever wins that match, which will I assume, yeah, I assume it'll be Damage Control because I think the Unholy Union now are heels, so I assume it's gonna be them to face them. And then they're gonna do Sami Zayn versus, again, like I said, Braun Breaker. 2 out of 3 falls. Yes, please. We like those. And I don't know if they're gonna do another match. They might do a Bronson Reed match for him. I don't know if they're gonna do Sheamus and uh, uh, Pete Dunne next week, or if they're gonna save it for Berlin, which they should save it for Berlin because that's gonna be great exposure for Pete Dunne, and there's probably it may probably mean both of them a lot for both of them since they're out of seas because I think one's from Ireland, the other one's from England. I think Pete Dunne's from England, so that'll be fun. But I'll talk about that card in a half a second because your main event was the Wyatt 6 versus Chad Gable and the Creed Brothers. Chad Gable was like, "Hey, we're the goats. We're the best. You barked up the wrong tree. You thought I was easy pickings because I had the dead weight by me. Nah, man, I got real men by me. We're gonna beat you up and we're gonna show you what's what." And they called themselves American Made. I think American Made. No, take that away right now. That first of all, that theme song doesn't go with the name. Take out the theme song, or at least take out the name. Call yourselves American Alphas. We're the American Alphas. I have the name. I was original American Alpha. The American Alphas. That's right there. The American. Anyways, American Alphas is right there. I don't know why they didn't use American Alphas, but I digress. Uh, American Alphas. They come out, and then the Wyatt 6 come out to the Bray Wyatt music. Oh, and I'm crying on the inside, tearing out on the outside. I was like, man, I miss Bray so much, man. So the music was playing, it was coming out, and it was a 6-person tag match. They didn't have the mask. They wrestled like the Wyatt family wrestled, and they showed off the Creed brothers. They did what they did. It was fun. Uh, it wasn't like they made the Creed didn't make the Alpha made Creeds look weak. They looked good. They looked really good in their defeat. Um, was there anybody who stood out? Not really. They all stood out, and they're each like everybody. Like Chad Gable Julius Creed, and the other one, Brodus. They all stood out just as much as Eric Rowan. The crowd was hot for Eric Rowan because obviously he came back from original Wyatts, and people loved them some Eric Rowan. So they were hot tag to him. People going crazy. He did the yeah the thing that Luke Harper did with the ropes over the ropes. He did that thing from them. Um, yeah, this was good stuff. Dexter Loomis. Oh, maybe Dexter Loomis. He did the top rope thing, the leg drop thing. He was on the top rope with the splash. He got the win. Yeah, this is great. I think the tag team is going to be Dexter Loomis and Luke Gacy. Oh, I'm here for that. I hope they do the New Day rule with them three, or you can maybe get Eric Rowan and Dexter Loomis. You get two big men type thing. You get the Dexter Loomis Joe Gacy type thing, and then I would be interested to see what an Eric Rowan and Joe Gacy type moveset would be like. I think that would be interesting. I like those. I think that would be very interesting to see. But yeah, that match they're done. So it'd be interesting to see what would be next for the Wyatts. 'Cause I don't think that this was all. This is done. They did their thing. And, they introduced the Wyatt 6 and how they're gonna pretty much wrestle when they're there. I assume the same thing will be for Nikki when she wrestles. Maybe she'll take off the thing and be like, "Oh, it's Nikki," and maybe no, or something like that. And then she'll take it off and she'll wrestle like that. And the same thing for Bo when he'll take his thing off and he'll wrestle regularly. Which I love, like those. So they pose at the end. Show's over. Um, yeah, this show was fantastic. This show from top to bottom was fantastic. Not like all the matches was good, but everything. You got from the opening segment with Gunther and Orton. It's like, oh, that's gonna be a match at Berlin. We like those. You had a great match with Sheamus and Ludwig, and you got the thing with Still Pete Dunne going on. You got the thing with Bronson Reed. You're introducing new stars. You got the thing with Bronson Reed making a name for himself on behalf of Seth Rollins. You still got the hot stuff from Drew and CM Punk. CM Punk is healthy. You got some women's wrestling going on. You got the whole thing with the Judgment Day, who still seems to be the focal part of the show. Of course, you got some stuff with Wyatt 6. You got to see what's going to happen with American Alpha. The whole interweaving what's gonna happen with Rhea, with Jey Uso, with Sami Zayn, with the Intercontinental Championship, the tag team titles, all that stuff is intertwined. So it's gonna be great stuff, I think. So I think because Triple H likes his 5 match cards, so from his 5 matches, I assume it will be it is. It's gonna be Gunther versus Randy Orton for the title. I assume it would be Ilya Dragunov versus Braun Breaker for the Intercontinental title. What they do, there's going to have to be some iteration of a Liv and Rhea thing, So I would assume that they would do like Liv. They would either do. This is what they would either do. They would either do Liv and Dom versus Rhea and Priest to get them on the show. Or they'll just do Rhea versus Liv in a rematch. Yeah. Or maybe they'll do JD and whoever, JD and Finn versus Priest and Rhea for the tag titles. I don't know. There's an iteration of that. I think you'll have to do, and then you'll have to do something from SmackDown. I think you'll do whatever the world title is on SmackDown. You'll do either Cody, maybe a triple threat, Cody versus Roman versus Solo in a triple threat match. I think that would be in something in that area because I don't think you're going to do Solo versus Roman just yet. Or maybe you might do the Fatal 4-Way and you add AJ Styles because they say AJ Styles is coming back. So maybe you'll do that and you'll add AJ Styles. Uh, I don't know what else from SmackDown you would do. Oh, you might. maybe do uh uh Unholy Union versus the Big Three. Maybe that would be my guess. But then it's like, what do you do? It depends on how long the card is going to be. You know, is it going to be 6 cards? You're gonna have 6 cards. Are you gonna do a world title? You're gonna do the women's title. You're gonna do Nia versus Bayley rematch. Are you gonna have Nia and Tiffany Stratton versus Bayley and Michin? It'll be interesting to see what that card will look like, or what they do going into Berlin. But that was the show. That was my opinion. That was the mini 13-minute recap for SummerSlam. And then that was your Raw recap. I will probably be doing SmackDown. I'll get back on it. I promise. I'll get my life together. It's gonna happen. Everything will be fine. But that was my hour long rant. Woof! Sheesh. I appreciate that, guys. But that's it. That's my show. I give the show an A. It was good stuff, top to bottom. What would you give it? Leave your comments in the below. I'm out.